If you are rated under 1000, you've come to the right place. Let's go. We're here to learn the second most important question to get you to 1000 rating and then above. Ready? It's the question, why? Thank you for watching. No, I'm kidding. So the question is, whenever your opponent plays a move, why did my opponent play that? Here we have our first position. We're playing as white and our opponent plays bishop to f5. And now if we ask the very simple question, why did my opponent play that? We will see the new square of this piece and see, oh, it's now attacking the rook on b1. So what should we do? We should just move it to any safe square. Doesn't matter too much which safe square, probably e1 is the best because it's an open file, but everything else is just details. The main point is that you see that your rook is under attack as a result of this move. Now, you might be seeing this and saying, oh, okay, that makes sense. But the hard part about this that I have to warn you about is to do it consistently after every single move your opponent makes. A lot of players do this sometimes, and as soon as they stop doing it, that's where the blunder happens. So the hard part about this is to completely internalize this way of thinking, and whenever your opponent makes any move of any kind, to first check for a threat before proceeding with your usual thought process. The reason I have to mention this is because I've coached many under 1000 players, and they are personally my favorite group to coach, but it's a simple method of improvement, but it's not easy. So you have to actively pay attention to every single move, which is very annoying at the start, but later on it will get better as you will completely internalize this. Let's take a look at a second example. So here in this position, we are playing with white and our opponent plays the move bishop to b6. Now, it's very easy to go ahead and say, oh, they're attacking the pawn, but if they take it, I could just recapture with the rook or with the king, it's fine. And then you would do something like improving your position. However, this is very dangerous. You have to at least try your best to assign some sort of threat or idea to your opponent's move. Now, sometimes your opponent will just play like a developing move, some sort of positional improvement, and you really can do whatever you want. But do your absolute best to recognize a threat, because this is how most games under 1000 are decided. One side makes a threat, the other does not catch it. So here, the threat isn't to take the pawn, but it's to pin the pawn to the king so that the queen can take the other one. The very simple way to deal with this would be to just unpin from this, so to move your king wherever you like, so that the pawn could protect the pawn again. Or you can use something else like the queen to play queen d3 and protect this pawn with a piece. But generally speaking, whenever you're under a pin, just get out of it. Now that I've shown you how to use this question to stop losing, we're going to see how to use this question to start winning. So sometimes your opponent's move will just be a blunder, but the way to catch blunders from your opponents is also with this very same question. Why did my opponent play that? So it's very important that you see your opponent's move for their idea, to check for a threat, to see if they have any immediate threat that needs to be solved, but also in doing so, don't get too caught up in their idea to the point of not seeing anything else. So in this position, bishop to b4 is played, and their idea is to attack the knight, and to pin the knight, and to prepare kingside castling. So there's multiple ideas. But if I just say that, that's not going to give me any information on how to punish it. So you have to understand their idea, but also see if you can potentially take advantage of it. So one thing that they completely missed here is that the queen is actually protecting that square. So we can just take this bishop for free and say thank you. Now, granted, if you're below 700, this will happen, but if you're between 700 and 1000, your opponents won't give up free pieces like this in one move too often. It's going to be more something like this. The queen is back here, and now they played bishop b4. And now the same ideas apply, but the way to punish it is a little bit different. You need to see a tactic in order to punish it. It's not going to be a one-move capture that your opponents blunder. Sometimes they're going to be blundering forks. Queen a4 check, or queen a5 check if you're playing black, is one of the most common things to fall for in the opening. So be on the lookout for this very typical tactic. And now they have to save the king somehow, either by blocking with the queen, with the pawn, moving it away. But in all cases, we just take the bishop on the next turn. Let's say queen d7, we take the bishop, and that's it. To recap everything, the second most important question in chess is, why did my opponent play that? So anytime your opponent makes any move, take a look at their piece and see what exactly is the reason behind their move. Identify any threats that you have to deal with, and if there is no threats in their move, if they just improve their position slightly, then you can most likely do the same. Also, look to punish their move whenever possible. So for example, let's say they play bishop to g4. You understand why they played it, but that shouldn't distract you so much that you don't see that you can just punish that move. At the end, here's a final test position for you. So in the comment, I want your answer as to why black played the move d5. What are the reasons behind their move, and how would you reply with the white pieces? And if you're wondering why this says second most important question, that's because the first most important question I will cover in my next video. So subscribe on my channel to be notified when that happens, because it's going to be a game changer for you. Like on the video if you learned something new, and I'll talk to you very soon. Take it easy.